Once upon a time, in India, there lived a beautiful but conceited princess. Her name was Rupanjali. The king and the queen were devoted to her. One day, the queen observed, "It is time to get Rupanjali married. Where will you get a suitable groom for her?" "I will send for my matchmakers," the king replied. "They will find a suitable groom for our lovely princess." The king ordered the messengers to bring portraits of the most handsome princes from different lands. The portraits were brought and displayed in the royal gallery. The king and the queen took Rupanjali to the gallery and left her alone to select her future husband. Rupanjali walked around the gallery, but she was disappointed. She wanted the most handsome prince in the world, and none of them came up to her expectations. The queen asked, "Which one do you like most, Rupanjali?" Rupanjali replied, "Mother, none of them is worthy of my hand." Then Rupanjali declared, "I want to marry the handsome prince of the Rainbow Land, and none else." But no one knew how to go to the Rainbow Land. One day, a stranger appeared in the city with a harp. He was handsome and sang most exquisitely. The stranger came straight to the court and said, "O king, I come from the Rainbow Land. Our handsome prince is looking for a beautiful bride, and I hear that your daughter wants to marry him." The king was very happy to hear this. He immediately got up from his throne to greet the stranger. "I am indeed excited, and I will be happy to get my daughter married to him." "Wait," the stranger interrupted. "Before you make your decision, I would like to share with you a secret. She may change her mind after hearing it." The stranger continued, "A long time ago, a witch came to our kingdom. She cast an evil spell on our prince. He lies unconscious, while his consciousness is trapped in a blood-red parrot. Our prince will not awake until the red parrot is found." The king was worried. "How can I get my only daughter married to a prince who may never wake up again?" The news reached Rupanjali, and she called for her father. She said, "Father, I will marry no one but the Rainbow Prince. He must be aroused from his sleep, so I must have the red parrot." "But my child, we do not know where we can find the red parrot." "I don't care," shouted the princess, stamping her foot impatiently. "Every single bird in the kingdom must be caught. I am certain to find the red parrot amongst them." The king was a kind-hearted man. He was shocked at his daughter's cruel words. "But we can't do that, my child. It will be cruel to all those birds." This made the princess more angry. She said, "If you love me, father, you will catch all the birds. Give me no excuses." Sadly, the king agreed. Rupanjali further warned, "Remember, not a single bird should escape." Beginning the next day, all the birds from every possible place were captured and brought to the palace. Many died on the way. The nests were all emptied. The happy chirping of the birds no longer filled the morning air. A huge cage was erected close to the royal palace. The frightened cry of the birds could be heard from far away. There were millions of them crowded into the cage. Princess Rupanjali's maid, Nilanjana, was very sad when she heard the cry of the birds. "My poor dears," she exclaimed, "I will go to the princess and plead for you. She may set you free." Nilanjana went to the princess and pleaded, "Oh, kind princess, set the poor birds free. Don't you see how wretched they are?" Rupanjali flew into a rage. She shouted, "How dare you question my act? actions, you wretched maid!" Nilanjana began to cry. She could not believe that the princess would be so cruel. The princess wanted only to win the Rainbow Prince. Nothing else was important to her. Nilanjana tried again, saying, "Oh, princess, have mercy on the birds. Set them free. You cannot have happiness by making others unhappy." Rupanjali was furious. "You merciful one! You love those birds, don't you?" she fumed. "Yes, princess. My heart goes out to them," said Nilanjana. "Very well, then. You stay with them," Rupanjali shouted vehemently. Then she asked the guards to throw the maid into the bird cage. Nilanjana was taken away by the guards and thrown into the cage. Slowly, night fell, and Nilanjana cried herself to sleep, tired and hungry. In the middle of the night, a red parrot came and sat on Nilanjana's shoulder. "Wake up, Nilanjana, wake up," the parrot said. Nilanjana opened her eyes to find the red parrot speaking to her. "Set me free, Nilanjana," the bird said. "See how the threads have bruised my wings. I can't bear the pain any more. Please help me." Nilanjana gently took the bird in her hands and started to caress him. "Poor little one, how you have suffered," she cried. It was almost dawn. Nilanjana said, "I don't care what happens to me. I will cut the threads and set you free." At that moment, Princess Rupanjali was on her way to the bird cage to see if the red parrot had been caught. From a distance, she saw Nilanjani holding the red parrot. She began to walk faster towards the cage, but Nilanjana opened the window of the cage and was about to set the bird free. Rupanjali shouted, "What are you doing? Don't let the bird go!" But it was too late. The red parrot quickly flew away, and Rupanjali could not catch the bird. Rupanjali was incensed. "You wicked girl! You have set my parrot free! You shall die for this!" Nilanjana said, "Princess, I could not stand his suffering. It would have died if I had not set it free." The maid's tears and pleas were to no avail. "Throw her down from the top of a cliff," Rupanjali ordered. Nilanjana was taken to the top of a cliff to be thrown into the river. Nilanjana prayed to God for mercy. "Please, O Lord, do not let me be punished for doing the right thing," she prayed. The guard pushed her off the cliff, and Nilanjana began to fall. Suddenly, 2 strong hands came out mysteriously and caught her. The next moment, Nilanjana found herself on the hill again. A handsome prince was standing beside her and pleasantly smiling. She thanked him profusely for saving her life. The prince said, "Nilanjana, I am the Rainbow Prince." Nilanjana was thrilled. "Rainbow Prince!" she exclaimed. "Our princess will be delighted to see you. At last she will be able to marry her prince." When they reached the palace, Rupanjali came forward. "Ah, my prince, I have been waiting for you," she declared. "And torturing innocent birds for your selfish ends?" retorted the Rainbow Prince. Then the prince took off his garland and stepped toward Nilanjana. "I am the red parrot, and I belong to you, Nilanjana," he said. Rupanjali desperately shouted, "But she is only a maid! I am the princess you are looking for!" Ignoring Rupanjali, the prince garlanded Nilanjana, saying, "You are my queen. I took the form of the red parrot only to test the worth of the girl that I would choose to marry. Rupanjali is only a princess by birth, but she is cruel," the Rainbow Prince said to Nilanjana. "You are brave, loyal, and a princess by heart, Nilanjana. You glow with an inner beauty. Rupanjali's beauty is only skin deep. Come, let us go to the land of the rainbow." "But what happens to the birds?" asked Nilanjana. I have already set them free, Nilanjana. See how happy they are." Then the Rainbow Prince left for the Rainbow Land on a golden chariot. Rupanjali was left behind, a sadder and wiser girl. The king consoled Rupanjali, saying, "If you are kind and considerate to others, it will bring you peace and happiness."